Good morning. Today is Tuesday, April 11th, 2023, and this is a regular meeting of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. Each vote today will be a verbal vote so that members of the public can hear how each board member has voted. After we have had a motion and a second regarding each item we are taking up today, there will be a roll call vote by district. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Joe Nevs.
Here.
Richard Valley.
Here.
Doug Verboon.
Here.
Rusty Robinson.
Here.
Richard Fagundes.
Here.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, can you please stand for the invocation? Our pastor has not arrived?
I don't see him, no.
No? Is there anyone that wants to volunteer to lead us in the prayer? Huh?
I hear crickets.
All right, then we got to go with our man. Oh,
Nate.
let's go.
All right.
Yeah, Kara. All right. Kara.
Good job.
Hey, Nate. Let's have, Kara's going to do it, but thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone, please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, enlighten us as we meet so that we each have a clear understanding of the issues we need to discuss. Give us clarity on our purpose and what we should accomplish today. We pray that you look over those in this room and those working out every day in the community. We pray you look over our men and women in uniform and their safe return. We thank you for the rain and bringing back to our water to our county. We will, as we address those, we pray that you watch over Kings County, our constituents, and all these things in your Lord's name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, ma'am. Please join us in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thanks for helping. Okay, we'll go into unscheduled appearances. Any person may address the board this time on any item on the agenda or any other items of interest to the public that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Would anyone like to make an unscheduled appearance this morning?
I have
Madam
no,
Clerk, do you have anyone online or
I have
card?
no written correspondence, but I do have one speaker card from Alex Walker.
Hey, Mr. Walker, good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alex Walker, 1126 Mission Drive. I'm here to proudly represent the Rotary Club of Lemoore to share some exciting news. This Saturday, April 15th, the Lemoore Rotary Club is going to be participating with Sleeping in Heavenly Peace to build 20 beds for our community. At our last year's crab feed, our club raised the money from the generous donations of the community who participated in this event to build these beds for families in need. The purpose of this project is to make sure that no child sleeps on the floor, and I'm very proud to be participating in this project. This is going to be our third year participating in the bed build, and we're very excited. I would like to extend the invite to the Board of Supervisors if they're interested. I also want to extend the invite for y'all to attend our meetings. They're usually Tuesdays at noon. I know it's a little bit hard with our Tuesday board meetings, but we would love to have you get a free lunch out of the deal. And if anyone has any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Hey, free lunch?
There you go.
Free lunch. I don't miss any meals.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate you being here. Anybody else? Okay, we'll move forward. Approval of the minutes. Item A, report out of closed session from the regular meeting for April 4th, 2023. Council?
Yes, I'd like to report that on that day, the board acted by unanimous vote to issue a third emergency order due to a third emergency order. The order prohibited recreational activities on the county's rivers and closure of levees and parks that abut the river. The order was published on the county's website and announced to the public via a press release.
Thank you, Council. Item B is approval of the minutes from the regular meeting for April 4th, 2023.
Oh, second.
Motion by Fagundes, second by Verboon. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item passes 5 in favor. That takes us to consent calendar. We have a few items there. If any members, if no members have questions or comments, the chair will entertain a motion.
No questions, comments, move for approval.
Nev seconds.
Motion by Fagundes, second by Nez. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Thank you. Item passes 5 in favor. That takes us down to our regular agenda items. First items from administration, and it's a chemical waste management report from Mr. Bob Henry. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. Bob Henry, Senior District Manager for the Waste Management Kettleman Hills Facility. Report period covers from January 31st through yesterday. A few past events. February 1st, we had, and this is a follow-on DTSC inspection report from December 21st. And if you may recall, DTSC sampled 8 different trucks profiles as they came into the facility. And what they were doing is, all right, so for hazardous waste, you would have RCRA, which would be a federal standard. And then for California, you have a non-RCRA standard. The RCRA standard, if you exceed land disposal restrictions, you have to treat it. Treatment would be stabilizing it, cement, ferrous sulfite, sodium hypochlorite, whatever it might take to treat it to get down below that land disposal restriction level. If it is a non-RCRA, we'll do a fingerprint if it's required, but typically that would go straight to the hazardous waste landfill. Okay, so what DTSC came in and did is they sampled those loads that were going directly to the landfill, the non-RCRA hazardous waste. And they were wanting to do is ensure that they weren't at that RCRA level or the higher level that might require or would require treatment. Sample results came back and matched the waste as profiled. Therefore, there were no violations. No concerns, no violations. So they picked the 8 trucks, they set DTSC sampled them, we sampled them, we did splits. And then when the sample results came back, all came back as profiled. So all the loads that had gone directly to the landfill, that was appropriate. So February 13th, DTSC Part B permit renewal. KHF submitted a revised waste analysis plan and revised closure, post-closure cost estimate. Going through the renewal, we have to update all the different plans. So we've been doing that. This was just another update for those two, the WAP and then the closure cost estimate. February 14th, Kings County Environmental Health Services at KHF, monthly unannounced inspection of MSW B17. That's the active one. Hazardous waste landfill B18 and MSW landfill B19 currently under delay of closure. During their inspection, there were no violations and no areas of concern. February 7th, Kings County Fire Department at KHF. He's not going to look this way. There he is. Okay, annual facility inspection. 2 minor issues were noted. Inspection sticker on the fire sprinkler riser at the drum storage unit was missing, and I had a few fire extinguishers that did not have annual certification tags. I'll go into depth on this a little later. February 24th, KHF exceeded the 50-year 24-hour storm event. So I think on the east side, I think we did the 90-year or something like that. I read in the paper, I believe. So 50-year 24-hour storm event for KHF was 2.39 inches. On February 24th, KHF experienced a storm event of 2.81 inches in a 24-hour period. So I like the sunshine. I know also everybody else is looking, look outside and you see the sunshine. I'm tired of the mud, guys. It's been a muddy spring. March 17th, Kings County Fire Department follow up to their annual inspection on February 17th. All issues had been corrected. March 23rd, US EPA and DTSC permit modifications. Notification went out on March 23rd to those on the DTSC mailing list. Modifications were to the contingency plan and also to the site-specific ambient air monitoring plan. Those were minors. Site-specific, we have to include a calendar. So this actually modification included 2024, 2023 was in there. We needed to add next year, so we had it in the permit. March 28th, Kings County Environmental Health Services at KHF, monthly unannounced inspection, no violations, no area of concerns. April 5th, DTSC permitting at KHF. KHF provided the new hazardous waste management program deputy director, Catherine or Katie Butler, a facility overview and tour. And touring with the deputy director were 4 additional permitting personnel. So Rose Gargazi, he moved on. Katie Butler came in, took his place. Katie will be the one who will be signing off on our permit for the draft permit, and then the final permit. If it does get appealed, it will go to the appeals. I'm going to call them, they act as the appeals board, the new DTSC board, and they will act as the appeals board. So it doesn't get resolved internally with DTSC. Future events, KHF to submit to DTSC the entire Part B renewal package. They didn't like all the pieces, so now we got to put it all together for them as one document. One document. It's multiple boxes of permits. So that'll go in this Thursday, 13th. April 19th, San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District will be at KHF for their annual facility inspection. This is announced. It's a planned event where they come out and they review all our permits and go through all the conditions. To give you an idea, landfill air permit will be, I think it's 109 conditions. So imagine each landfill they go through, each surface impoundment, treatment unit, drum storage unit, bulk storage unit. It's a full day. All right, permitting. And guys, give you guys a schedule that this is tentative. This is for the Part B renewal, the 10-year operating permit. DTSC to complete their technical review in the third quarter of 23. DTSC to make a draft decision in fourth quarter. DTSC to go out for public comment in fourth quarter, hold a public hearing in fourth quarter. We assume that it'll take till the second quarter of next year of 2024 for their final permit decision. There hasn't been a permit. I've been out there for a while. Y'all know that. I have not had a permit yet that did not get appealed. So I'm going to assume I'm going to get an appeal. That's within 30 days of their final permit decision. Anybody can make an appeal. And then hopefully they'll have appealed decision by the fourth quarter of 24. So about another year and a half. And hopefully we'll have our 10-year permit renewal. So give you an idea, it was issued in 2003, expired in 13. We did a timely renewal. 2023, hopefully we get it in 24. It's a 10-year permit. Okay, so that's where we're at. Okay, that's all I have.
Thanks, sir. Before you go, one on behalf of the board, we do want to say thank you for sponsoring once again our annual Women's History Month. As you know, we had a lot of women's leaders, the top quality leaders here the other day, and thanks to you, they all received a very beautiful flower arrangement. And working with Catherine and Diane on that. I know that was a whole mission that morning, early in the morning, going to go get those flowers, but we appreciate you sponsoring that, sir. Thank you.
Not a problem. We're happy to do it. I was able to look at the PowerPoint and see the ladies that you all selected. They all look very deserving and had great quotes in the PowerPoint presentation. Plus the ladies from NAS Lemoore. It looked like it was a great event. Very proud of them. I think they did a great job. I think you all did a great job.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your help. Okay.
Make a motion to accept the report as presented.
Motion by Verboen, second by Fagundes. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item B comes from the assessor clerk recorder. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. I am Susan Morris. I'm the Clerk Recorder Manager. And I'm here before your board this morning to request the approval of the software service agreement with Tyler Technologies to provide software services to the Clerk Recorder. Currently, the Clerk Recorder uses multiple software applications to provide services to the public. Approval of this agreement will allow for a singular piece of software to perform those same functions. Additionally, it will allow for modernization of our office. This modernization will include the elimination of paper forms. It'll permit online applications for birth, death, and marriage certificates, and it will allow the recorder's office to begin instituting the electronic recording of documents. If approved, there will be a one-time installation cost of $89,750 and an annual maintenance charge of $75,347. These costs were included in the current assessor clerk recorder budget. Installation costs will be paid using the micrographics and the Vital Health Statistics Fund monies, trust fund monies. And ongoing maintenance charges will be funded by the fees charged by the clerk recorder. There'll be no impact to the general fund. I'm now asking the board to authorize the assessor clerk recorder to sign the Tyler Technologies agreement to provide software for the clerk recorder retroactively effective from March 16th, 2023 for a one-year term with annual renewals thereafter. This agreement has been reviewed and approved by County Council, and I'm here for any questions that you might have.
Anyone have any questions or comments at this time? I just want to say this. One, I think that anything like this to help you guys in that department get going. I mean, we know what we're facing. I spoke with the assessor a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, we know there's a lot of property owners already impacted by early flood and by a lot of this water around Kings County and their properties. The property values obviously are going to plummet. And so at some point, I'd like for the board to either start with a study session or get some kind of action item going pretty soon that could figure out the best way to work with the assessor and the board to streamline that versus property owners appealing their property values and taking all the time to go through those one-on-one. Maybe we could look into just one overall rate of bringing down those property values, one uniform percentage, and just help everybody be able to recover quickly. Yes, Madam Assessor.
Just to quickly address that a little bit, I am working on an ordinance update right now. We have an ordinance for the county for flooding situations, but it was back in, I think, mid-'80s, so it's almost 40 years old. So some of the language in that is a little outdated just because the laws have been updated, but it has a good basis. So I'm trying to streamline that. I have a little bit more work to do, and it'll be going through county council for approval and hopefully get to your board right away. And basically what we're going to do is ask your board to approve us kind of doing mass appraisals of certain areas. And otherwise, individually, taxpayers or property owners can go ahead and complete an application with our office if they are experiencing flood damage directly.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Assessor. I knew you were all over it. I appreciate you for that. Thank you. Okay. Chair will entertain a motion.
There's no question or comments. I'll move as presented.
Second. Motion by Boone, second by Robinson. Madam Clerk.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes. Item passes 5 in favor. Item C comes from Human Resources.
Thank you very much.
I think you're welcome. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Adrienne Lamming, Personnel Analyst with Human Resources. I'm here today to recommend that the board authorize the new job classification for a water, solar, and natural resources manager in the administrative office for one FTE and budget unit 111000. This position will direct, plan, create, research, monitor, organize, and coordinate the county's water, solar, and natural resources policies and programs in cooperation with other county departments and outside agencies. The cost for the new position for the remainder of the 22-23 fiscal year is approximately $29,715 per salary only. HR recommends that 1, you approve the new job specification for water, solar, and natural resources manager. Approve the salary range of 253.0, which is approximately $7,455 to $9,095 monthly. And allocate a 1 full-time equivalency position and budget unit 111000. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to address them.
That's wrapped up in item 1 as well, the federal tax information.
Actually, I think we skipped number 1. We need to actually take that item unless it's been pulled by the department.
Was item 1 consider approving the updated county policy 10-1 federal tax information?
Oh,
Are you
sorry.
prepared to, let's take that up first.
Sure. Sorry.
Okay.
So I'm here today to recommend that the board authorize an update to County Policy 10-1 Federal Tax Information. The Internal Revenue Service, IRS, issued an update to IRS Publication 1075 Tax Information, Security Guidelines for Federal, State, and Local Agencies, Publication 1075, which requires that the county update the policy and accompanying procedures to change background investigation requirements for individuals who have accessed to federal tax information, FTI, by changing the requirements for renewal from 10 years to 5 years. The department that currently have FTI access are Child Support Services, Human Services Agency, and the Veteran Services Public Guardian. The cost for the update and policy over the next 5 years will be $2,752, of which $224 will affect the general fund. The fiscal impact for the remainder of the 22-23 fiscal year will be $224, none of which will affect the general fund. HR recommends that you approve the updated county policy 10-1 federal tax information. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to address them.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on item one?
No question or comments. I'll move as presented.
Motion by Verboen,
Second.
second by Robinson. Madam Clerk?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson, Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Thank you. Item passes 5 in favor. With items 2A and 2B, we received the presentation. Any board members have any comments or questions on on that item?
You want to have her read it again?
Want to start over?
No. Gotcha.
Anything for you guys?
No question or comments. I'll move as presented.
Motion by Verboen, second by Fagundes. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
No.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboen,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson,
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
No.
So item, does 4/5 vote come into play on that? I know it's not on there, council, but it's a budget issue that requires 4/5 vote.
If there is a budget transfer, then it would require a 4/5 vote. If it's just the job spec and a position, then it is a 3/5 vote. I believe it's just the job spec and the position.
Okay, does it come back for anything budget related? That would require 4/5 vote. This is it?
No, it already says the fiscal impact was included in the department's budget.
Okay, then item passes, 3 in favor, 2 in opposition.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item 3 is information only.
The other podium is available.
We'd like to get our steps in.
Our steps in. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Danielle Leet, Personnel Analyst, Human Resources. I'm here today to provide the board with information regarding the suspension of competition for the undersheriff and assistant sheriff positions. On March 28th, 2023, your board approved the new job specifications of undersheriff, including a temporary overfill of the undersheriff. According to Personnel Rule 4060, suspension of competition, the Human Resources Director may only suspend competition when requested to do so by appropriate appointing authority and when one or more of the following criteria apply. Per Personnel Rule 4060, for these following, apply Section 1. The vacancy to be filled requires peculiar and exceptional qualifications of a scientific or expert character, and there is evidence that labor market conditions will not permit recruitment of sufficient applicants to create a competitive process. And Section 4, the suspension is being requested to fill a position which is assistant department head level in nature. Both the undersheriff position and assistant sheriff positions are assistant department head positions. The competition has been suspended by the Human Resources Director at the request of the sheriff, effective April 3rd, 2023, pay period 8. David Putnam and Robert Thayer were appointed to undersheriff, and Rick Bradford was appointed to the assistant sheriff. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to address them.
All right, thank you. Anyone have any questions? It's information only.
There's no question or comments. I'll move as presented.
All right, thank you for your time.
Info only. Do you want a motion or to accept it?
It's information only. A
All right.
motion's not required.
Okay, thank.
Stand back.
All right, save it for the next one. Item D comes from Public Health Department. Who's presenting the item this morning? Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, Chairman, members of the board, Heather Silva with Public Health. I want to introduce Zarina Maristegan, who will be doing our item for today.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. Zarina Marasegan, Nursing Division Manager. I'm happy to stand before you today representing Maternal Child Alice and Health Unit of the Health Department to announce April 11 to 17, 2023 as Black Maternal Health Week in Kings County. In 2021, the White House recognized Black Maternal Health Week as a national campaign to bring awareness to the crisis of Black maternal morbidity and mortality across the nation. Black women are more likely to experience pregnancy complications such as high blood pressure and excessive bleeding during pregnancy and after birth. Birth outcomes for Black mothers also have higher incidences of preterm birth and low birth weight. In Kings County, Black women compared to women of other races and ethnicities continue to have the highest rate of preterm births or births occurring before the 37th week of pregnancy. Furthermore, in California, Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than Hispanic, Latina, Asian Pacific Islander, and white women. Every pregnancy-related death is tragic, especially because more than 80% of pregnancy-related deaths in the U.S. are preventable. Everyone can play a role in working to prevent pregnancy-related deaths and improving maternal health outcomes. To improve maternal health, connecting with healthcare and social support systems before, during, and after pregnancy, starting prenatal care as soon as possible, and continuing this care until delivery is strongly encouraged. Pregnancy complications can be reduced through healthy diet, regular exercise, control of chronic health conditions, and birth outcomes can be improved by avoiding tobacco smoke, alcohol, and illicit drug use. Prenatal vitamins and folic acid supplements are also recommended to improve the chances of a healthy pregnancy and an optimal birth outcome. Pregnant women and their families should also know about recognizing urgent maternal warning signs and talk to healthcare providers if anything doesn't feel right or is concerning. Urgent maternal warning signs include severe headache, extreme swelling of the hands or face, trouble breathing, heavy vaginal bleeding or discharge, and overwhelming tiredness. These symptoms can indicate a potential life-threatening complication. The Kings County Department of Public Health is asking the board today to adopt a resolution proclaiming April 11 to 17, 2023 as National Black Infant Health Week, Black Maternal Health Week in Kings County. Thank you.
Thank you for the information. Appreciate that presentation. Questions or comments from the board?
No questions or comments, Mr. Chair. Move for adoption.
Thank you, Sue Neves. Second. Motion by Neves, second by Fagundes. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Item passes 5 in favor. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, very quickly, we're at the end, towards the end, board member announcements and reports. Supervisor Joe Neves.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Continue to be engaged with flooding issues, checking out maps, checking out borders, checking out levees, just seeing where the water's flowing. We also had a meeting of the Kings County Agency on Aging, on the KCAG, reviewed the finances and planned for the 23-24 budget. Then on Thursday, the Stratford Spring Wellness Fair. We had multiple information booths, games, music, hot dogs. Over 300 people attended, cut the ribbon on a new mobile clinic that area is using in the area, and got that added to the fleet. And then on Friday, I want to thank Supervisor Fagundes for helping out at the Santa Rosa Rancheria, along with John Martin, Jim Kilner, Greg Martella, and my wife was bossing us all around, preparing pancakes, bacon, and scrambled eggs for the recreation center at the Santa Rosa Rancheria, and had a great time out there. And then on Friday afternoon, we attended the Kings County Fire Department promotional ceremony and promoting captains and engineers back into the field. So it was a pretty good Friday. So with that, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Supervisor. Supervisor Fagundes.
The only thing I have is helping Jill at the Tachikalas, and that turned out real well, real quick, and everything worked good.
Good job. Good job. Thanks, sir. Supervisor Verboen.
Same thing as Supervisor Neves, pay attention to the water and the flooding and, kind of teach myself where it's going, where it should go next. Spent, a couple radio talk shows, Associated Press and San Francisco Chronicle and LA Times last week. And then Saturday, Supervisor Buddy Mendez from Fresno County wanted to take a tour of the lake. So we spent the day driving from Stratford clear around the lake, had lunch and, Lake Bottom.
Nice.
Pretty good. And then,
Do you have frog legs?
no frog leg. No. But I do want to say, I got to make a statement. Last week, I got a little excited over my groundwater ordinance and I got a little frustrated with my board and I shouldn't have. And my apology to the board for getting a little bit winded and overexcited on that. So if you accept my apology, I appreciate that. I'm not saying I won't do it again. I'm just going to apologize for that time. So.
All right. Just means you're passionate about what you believe in, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you. You're doing a great job. Supervisor Robinson.
It's been a couple hours on Easter Sunday, looking at the waterways, followed the waterways of the Kings River. I don't know if I've ever seen the South Fork as full as it is right now. Kingston, I think it was almost up to the Park Road. And also drove down to Stratford to take a look at that, and then Kettleman City as well. Just to and you'll see a little bit of water on the west side of the 41. So I think those farmers tend to be taking a little bit of that water just to help the system. But just keeping updated with the waterways, and we're just all monitoring it as best we can.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Everyone's doing a good job with that, especially our OEC. I want to thank all those folks that are in that command center, giving up a large part of your life every day too. And we really appreciate the work that you guys are doing on there. Abraham, good work getting OES Director Nancy Ward to Kings County last week. That was a good deal. Look forward to the briefs on that. Separate subject, I want to just quickly, I was sharing with Supervisor Verboen, the time's coming now, getting so close for the unveiling of the Veterans Memorial down in Corcoran. In fact, the statues are leaving Memphis, I believe, today. They're getting trucked down. They're going to arrive in Bakersfield Sunday night. The truck driver is going to overnight there, and then Monday morning, if things go right, that truck's going to pull in with those 5 statues into Corcoran about 10 a.m. And we're going to take them through downtown Corcoran and swing them around and end up at their soon-to-be new home, the Corcoran Gateway Park. And we are working with some veteran organizations, especially the veterans riders, the motorcycles, the cool trucks. And we're looking to meet that truck at 9 a.m. in front of Allensworth on Highway 43. As you may know, Highway 43 is open again. And so this is an invite to anyone that would like to get their flag, show their patriotism, get down there. If you got a motorcycle, if you got a cool ride, get down there in front of Allensworth. That's going to be the rally point, and escort those monuments into Corcoran and escort them all the way into Gateway Park. And if this goes right, hopefully we can get some media coverage out of that to promote the actual unveiling, get a lot of people there in Corcoran on Saturday, the 29th at 10 a.m. So that's going to be a cool event. Also, Chairman Leo Cisco and his uncle, Mr. Mike Cisco, the tribe's medicine man, they're going to be there as part of the greeting and the welcoming when that truck gets there. And they're going to bless the memorial. They're going to bless the site, the ground where that those statues are going to be. So again, the 5 pillars of freedom come down. And also want to thank High Speed Rail Authority. Once again, they're working with us. They're going to provide their crane, a couple of crane drivers to swing these statues. I think the heaviest piece is like 6,000 pounds on that monument. So if you want to come down and see some history and watch those things get swung off the truck and landed on there, it's going to be really cool. And I'm going to reach out to firefighters, sheriff deputies to see if we can get a car. I know you guys are busy. You can get a phone call and not be available, but if you're available, we'd love to have you guys as part of that escort. And so we're going to work on the logistics of that here the rest of the week, and I get that information out to everybody. All right. All right. Thank you. Anybody else? Kara, CL.
So your board received correspondence on April 6, 2023, the Kettleman City Community Service District regarding a notice to property owners of public hearing on the water rate increase. It's a Prop 218 notification. For upcoming events, West Hills College Lemoore will host his Collision of Vision 2023 on Thursday, April 13th from 4:30 to 7 at Building 800 Art Lab at its Lemoore campus. This event will be a public art exhibition, and there will be a special exhibition boutique with sale of artworks and crafts from the Avenel State Prison to benefit Rising Scholars 2.0. Adventist Health Hanford is hosting its Walk with the Doc on Saturday, April 15th, 2023 at 9 a.m. at the Centennial Park in Hanford. The event is free and all are welcome. No registration is necessary. In honor of Child Abuse Awareness Month, King's Partnership is inviting the community to join them in celebrating Kids Day on Saturday, April 22nd from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Hanford Mall. This is a free event, and the event will be preceded by a Kids Day walk for child abuse. Corcoran Rotary will be hosting Jeremy Elvis Pierce, a fundraising benefiting the Corcoran Chamber of Commerce project on Saturday, April 22nd at 5 p.m. at the RAC Gymnasium located at 900 Dairy Avenue, Corcoran. VIP seating is $75 per person and general seating is $50. Kings United Way is hosting the Power of Purse Luncheon to recognize the administrative professional days in Kings County and raise funds for local charities. The luncheon is scheduled for Tuesday, April 25th from noon to 2 in the Hanford Civic Auditorium. Tickets are still available for purchase for $30. Again, the save the date for the Veterans Memorial Statue unveiling in Corcoran is scheduled for Saturday, April 29th at the Corcoran's new Gateway Park. Individual veterans can attend, and veterans organization who would like to RSV for large groups, please email Richard Valley at valleyf@yahoo.com. Everyone else does not need to RSVP. Lastly, the Central Valley Blood Bank will have their buses on campus for our next employee blood drive on Thursday, May 18th. And for upcoming agenda items, the following agenda items are coming from administration. 4 items considered to approve retroactive agreement for the jail-based competency treatment program, consideration to approve an agreement WellPath jail-based competency treatment program, and regarding appointments for Child Abuse Prevention Coordinating Council. Behavioral Health has an amendment to an agreement with Cal MHSA for the Central Valley Suicide Program Hotline. DA has a consideration to adopt a resolution proclaiming April 23rd through 29th as the Victims' Right Week. JTO has consideration to approve the 2023 modification to the Kings County Workforce Development Board Program Local Workforce Plan. And HSA has consideration regarding approval of transportation plan to ensure schools stability for students in foster care. And that is it.
Thank you, Supervisor Verboen.
So tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock at Item School, 7799 21st Avenue, we're having an informational meeting on anybody that lives near the Kings River and the flood zones on how to prepare for a potential breach in the levees. And we'll have KRCD there, and we'll have our Operation OEC Center there too, and our sheriff and our fire department. So any questions you may have concerning anyone living near the banks of the Kings River. And we'll have an Item School cafeteria at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, well, with that, we'll go into closed session for personnel matter, and we will adjourn and be back on Tuesday, April 18th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Thank you, everyone, for your time.